When you're naturally curious, every day is school day, but I'll bet you didn't realize just how much there is to learn about the seemingly mundane items we see and use on the daily. From deceptive store displays to the secret messages hidden in fast food, let's take a look at yet another batch of amazing secrets hidden in everyday things. Throwing in the towel. Unfortunately for your wallet, shopping is very much a part of everyday life, and when it comes to tempting their customers, retailers know that appearance is king. Bed Bath & Beyond is famous around the world for their impeccable ceiling-high towel displays, but have you ever wondered how exactly they keep them looking so perfect? While it may look like these towels are stacked to high heaven, each stack is just one towel carefully sheathed over foam rolls in a way to make it appear as though it's lots of towels folded on top of one another. The real towel stacks are wisely kept within the average shopper's reach, though most are none the wiser. Pretty ironic that Bed Bath & Beyond's personal hygiene section would be harboring dirty little secrets like that. Pizza table. With soft dough, tangy tomato sauce and that oh so glorious gooey cheese, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that doesn't love a good slice of pizza, but I'll bet you never realized just how much thought goes into your standard takeout pizza in a box. While the pizza itself is what catches your eye upon opening the box, there's something else that I'll bet you've never paid much mind to, specifically, this mysterious little piece of plastic. While it might look like the perfect spot for a tiny pizza party, this little table is actually called a pizza siver. Its job is essentially to provide structural support to pizza boxes when other things are stacked on top during transit. While you might be wondering why an already flat pizza would need any kind of crush protection, the pizza saver plays a crucial role in preventing the top of the box from dropping down onto the pizza. Pizzerias that don't use pizza savers are at risk of causing any delicious cheese and toppings to stick to the lid, turning any sized pizza party into a pizza pity party. As nifty as this little table's true purpose is, I'd still love to attend a tiny pizza party. What a tasteful pepperoni carpet this place has. CAPTCHA if you can. Thanks to the wonderful world of spammers, daily internet users are sure to find themselves convincing websites that they are, in fact, not a robot. This is reCAPTCHA, an online system that enables websites to differentiate between genuine human users and spam bots. On average, humans solve roughly 60 million online CAPTCHAs every single day, and you might have noticed that the questions asked by the picture puzzles seem just a little bit dumb. Select all squares with traffic lights, all images with a bus, crosswalks, taxis, the list goes on. While these tasks might seem totally random and pointless, few people realize that the answers we're giving to these irritating CAPTCHAs have been steadily moving us closer to a reality dominated by self-driving cars. When you identify road hazards and signs in CAPTCHAs, Google uses this precise information to help its smart car technology identify where pedestrian signs, crosswalks, and cyclists are. So when you're sitting with your future grandkids in your self-driving car, you can tell them all about how you've been personally responsible for the magic of truly smart cars. Tough bus. In the United States, around 26 million students ride the school bus to from school every day. Chances are you've ridden one yourself, but have you ever stopped to consider the design of what's ferrying you to class? Ever noticed these horizontal steel bars that jut out the side of American school buses? These are called rub rails and serve to provide structural and protectional support to the bus. If something were to swipe up against the side of the bus, the rub rails provide additional reinforcement against the obstruction, reducing the chance of damage being done to the main body of the bus, keeping the kids inside safe from metal walls that could otherwise crumble inward. Pretty neat, huh? If like me you always just assumed those black lines were a stylistic choice, let me know in the comments. Spinning for air. They say when one door closes, another opens, but revolving doors are another kettle of fish, and surprisingly they're full of hidden functions. While they might seem snazzy, revolving doors actually work to save energy and reduce carbon emissions by preventing something called the stack effect. The stack effect occurs in tall buildings when the outdoor temperature is significantly different compared to the inside. During the winter, when a regular swing door opens at the bottom of a building, a cold, dense air from outside will enter the building and push its way upward, forcing the warmer, less dense air out of any openings at the top of the building. In summer, Cold air-conditioned air sinks to the bottom of the building and rushes out when swing doors open. Revolving doors are designed in such a way that there's never a direct opening to the street, meaning that the air on the inside is mostly sealed from the outside even when the door is spinning. These spinning doors exchange 8 times less air compared to swing doors, and thanks to this tighter control of the temperature of air within the building entrance, buildings that exclusively use revolving doors can reduce their annual energy consumption by as much as 74%. So the next time you treat yourself to a fun ride through a revolving door, you can give yourself an extra pat on the back for doing your bit to save the planet. In and out of faith, some might compare an especially delicious fast food meal to a religious experience, but little do they realize how literal this can really be. We don't often pay much attention to what our burgers, fries, and sodas are packaged up in, but turns out the guys at In-N-Out Burger have been hiding something sacred right under our noses. These mysterious markings can be found hidden on the underside of cups, the bottoms of boxes, and near the seams of wrappers. But what are they? You may have already realized that these markers are pointers to Bible passages, but you probably don't know why exactly they're there. In-N-Out Burger was founded by Harry and Esther Snyder in 1948, and unlike many other fast food joints, remains a privately owned, unfranchised family business to this day. The Snyders have always been a religious family, and seeing as they own In-N-Out outright, they can put just about whatever they want on the packaging. The Bible verses have been present on the burger joint's packaging since at least 1987, and mostly indicate passages that promote faith in God. So maybe fast food isn't as sinful as we thought. At least not the kind from In-N-Out. Sharing is caring. There aren't many better ways to catch up with a group of pals than over a cold one at the bar. While balancing on a bar stool isn't always the easiest, most comfortable thing to do, I bet you never realized that you're actually sitting on a gold mine. A gold mine of secrets, that is. You may have spotted that some bar stools come with a small round hole in the middle of the seat. While it might look like it's perfectly placed for you to silently break wind in public, there's a lot more to it. One of the reasons for this tush hole is down to air pressure, and I don't mean backside air. If no hole was present, the chairs are more likely to get stuck when stacked because of air vacuums that form within the gap of two chairs. It can also more obviously act as a convenient hole to hook your finger into for a better grip when moving them around. Thanks to the bar stool's handy hole, the only balancing act you'll need to do is when you find yourself sitting on one. Easy street. It's easy for pedestrians to go about their daily routine without paying much attention to the sidewalks they're using, but there's some features that are essential to certain folks getting around. If you've ever noticed raised patterns like these on the ground, they aren't there for a fun change in pace. That's what's known as tactile paving, and it's designed to guide people with visual impairments through busy areas like city sidewalks and public transport stations. There are two main types of tactile paving: directional blocks and warning blocks. Directional blocks like these serve to guide those with visual impairments towards important landmarks such as train station platforms and accessible exits. Warning blocks often work in conjunction with directional blocks and can indicate a change in direction or significant landmarks such as platform edges and curbsides. And this isn't the only secret message hidden in our sidewalks. Love it or hate it, graffiti has become a part of everyday life. City dwellers, in particular, are so used to seeing these urban hieroglyphics on the daily that they've become synonymous with city life. But did you know that some of it is actually meant to be there? Certain spray-painted messages may mean nothing to the untrained eye, but they're essential for warning street engineers and construction workers about the different types of underground hazards in the area. These markings are color-coded, and common colors include red, which indicates electric power lines, yellow for gas and oil lines, green for sewers and drain lines, and orange, which covers communication wires. This one in particular refers to a communication wire that's running under the ground, with the line and arrow indicating the wires actually offset a little further over from the line's position. This offset usually happens if there's something obstructing the ability to mark the actual position, like a building or a busy road. So the next time you're wandering up the boulevard, you'll know that the pavement itself is determined to make sure that everyone, both workers and civilians, are walking on easy street.
Enjoy watching.
As the most populous country with almost 1.5 billion people, China has an amazing culture, but even though it has the most people, it doesn't mean that all the habits, rules and customs of China are normal for everyone. From strange delicacies and wedding traditions, to reasons why the police use geese, let's explore the different oddities that will surprise you, but in China happen every day.
Wow, situation.
Sleep country. China is the second richest country in the world, so everything is geared towards success. But how do the Chinese stay so productive? What is their secret? It's very simple. In sleep, a good night's sleep is proven to improve concentration and learning, and also reduce stress levels. And if you get some sleep at the beginning of the day, it will improve mood, performance and vigilance, and the Chinese know this well. So much so that sleep, especially after dinner, is firmly rooted in their culture. They have a common saying that if you don't sleep at noon, you will collapse in the afternoon. Therefore, the Chinese are often even encouraged to sleep during working hours in order to become more productive. Seriously, factories and offices in China allocate time for sleep after dinner. Why? It's all about the concept of 996, introduced in 2000. This is a job from AM to PM 6 days a week. Such a schedule has contributed to the economic boom across the country. But although it includes a 2-hour break during which you can sleep, agree, this is a very long working week, considering how the usual daytime siesta, now and then you can see people sleeping in a variety of places, from public transport and even to the store. This guy actually hung a hammock right in the subway. But these electricians get the prize for the most dangerous sleepy work. They tied themselves to power towers at a height of about 50 meters, and then lay down to take a nap. Climbing such high towers is incredibly difficult, and in order not to climb up and down, they stay at the top all day and come down only to eat. You have to really want to sleep for this. But such a dream is not only associated with work. The habit of sleeping during the day appears even in elementary school. Take for example the children of Gossan Primary School in Shaanxi Province. After lunch, the whole class lies down on their desks and a quiet hour begins. However, in one school in eastern China, children now sleep in tents because lying on a wooden desk leads to poor sleep and back problems. In any case, while sleep improves productivity, I doubt our superiors would approve of such an idea. One of our men almost got fired when he caught him sleeping. Red Sea. Given that China's flag is red, it's no wonder it's an important color for the country. It symbolizes good luck and joy, and even drives away evil. However, there was no luck when the rivers turned red. Stretching for 6,300 km, the Yangtze River is the longest in China and the third longest in the world. However, in 2012, she suddenly acquired a red tint. Why? No one could understand, although it was suspected that this was the result of illegal dumping of waste. The main concentration of red was in Chongqing, a major industrial center in China. Apparently, the water was dumped by some kind of industrial waste, because of which it acquired this ominous shade of red. Waste management has become a lucrative industry in China, and the waste management market is expected to grow by as much as 7% from 2019 to 2024. Companies can increase profits even more by hiring intermediaries. However, often the waste is transferred to a secondary intermediary and so on, until they are eventually dumped illegally, usually into some river. It was reported that in 2016 alone, nearly 10,000 tons of waste from Haining City alone was dumped into the Yangtze. But perhaps the strangest case occurred in 2013, when 16,000 pig corpses ended up in the river. It seems the unusual color of the river is still far from China's main problem. Watch your manners. If you eat like a Shrek, then you must have been told not to chew with your mouth open, not to smack your lips, not to burp, and just not to dirty the table. However, in China, you would be praised for your behavior at the table. Here, slurping sounds while eating noodles and smacking is not just accepted, but is considered a compliment to the cook, and means that you really like the food. And if you feel like burping, don't be shy, because this is also a sign that you like everything. However, I don't like one part of table etiquette, and this is the habit of spitting. which is often observed in Chinese restaurants. In many dishes there are small bones, seeds, peel, and instead of picking them out, it used to be customary to simply spit everything on the floor. Spitting was once considered cleansing in China, so people still do it from time to time, but now it is no longer so accepted in cities like Guangzhou. Ban spitting in public places in 2020, as long as it is not in my food. Heavy load. In 2018, China's merchandise trade exceeded $4 trillion, about 12.4% of global trade, but demand sometimes exceeds supply and vehicles in China are horribly overloaded with goods. In fact, according to the authorities, 80% of transport is overloaded. If you think I'm exaggerating, listen to this story. In 2019, two trucks were driving on an overpass in Jiangsu province. The first truck was carrying 7 stacks of steel coils, and the second one was carrying 6. That is, the total weight of the extremely heavy load exceeded 100 tons. The first truck managed to cross the overpass safely, but as the second truck approached, the entire structure suddenly collapsed, crushing the vehicles underneath. Fortunately, the truck driver escaped with injuries, but 3 other motorists unfortunately died, and this is not the first time this has happened, with an estimated 69 bridges collapsing between 2006 and 2016 due to overloaded vehicles. That's 7 bridges a year, and more than 1 bridge collapses every 2 months. It's not normal. The authorities are tightening inspection rules to avoid new incidents, but judging by photos like this, people do not seem to care about the risks posed by overloaded transport in China. There are at least 50 chairs. Pin in the neck. The Chinese army is the 3rd largest in the world, so it is not surprising that everything is strict in it. However, some customs go too far. For example, the famous combat stance is used in most armies of the world. This is when the soldiers stand with their chins raised, their chests puffed out, their shoulders squared, and their stomachs pulled in. But in China they are not going to take risks, and a very cruel method is used to make the soldiers stand upright. There are many photographs in which a pin sticks out of the collar of soldiers. If the soldier slouches a little or relaxes, the pin will prick him, but maybe that's not such a bad idea. Here many people have a posture like Quasimodo. Goose police. Cops always have to be ready for anything, which is why one police force in China uses big guns, or rather big geese. Seriously, the police in Xinjiang have recruited flocks of geese into their ranks. Why was it needed? Geese are vigilant animals due to their territorial nature, much like watchdogs but with wings. In October 2021, the Goose Army stretched for 480 kilometers to prevent illegal migrants from bringing any diseases. And in December 2021, one goose began to scream, the rest of the flock began to make noise after it, and the police caught 2 people trying to cross the border. Haha. Hooray! Respect elders. From neighbor gossip to clothing store discounts, visiting your parents isn't always fun. However, in China it is the real law, yes. According to the law on the protection of the rights and interests of the elderly, which was adopted back in 2013. If parents are over 60, their children are required to visit them. In addition, Article 11 of the 2nd chapter prescribes that the children of the elderly should provide for them, take care of them, comfort and satisfy special needs, but no one monitors this. And because of the vague language, many people criticized this law. Really, what does special needs mean? Soften food, walk dogs, or become a footstool? Be that as it may, if the children do not visit, their parents can apply for mediation or even go to court. But if the child does not want to come even despite the law, nothing will convince him. Do you love your parents?
Write your comment.
For today, everything that surprised you the most from this, or there are much stranger things in your country, tell us in the comments under the video. Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell.